Hey, it's me. It's animated me. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and it's time for another episode of Completed It. Movie reviews, pop culture, celebrity guests, and all that good stuff. Oh, and my good friend over there, Sacha Alari, as my co-host. Hey, Sach, hit the titles, brother. Welcome everybody back to Completed It. Yes, it's been about 3.5 weeks since you heard our dulcet tones. I've been super busy. Sash has been super busy. Neil has been really busy, and John, I don't know what he gets up to. But hey everyone, welcome back to Completed It. I'm your host Andy Burrows, and as you can see there on my left-hand side, my good friend and co-host, Mr. Sacha Olari. Sash, how are you, bro? It's been a while.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good.
It's been a while since we got to do this, brother. What's new in your world, my friend?
Oh, just work, man. I'm
That's
always
right.
working.
Same old shit. Same old shit. Yeah, it's been good. I've been out seeing some. I've been slowly getting back to seeing some movies. Well, my life has been so chaotic now with football and work and stuff. But I went and saw Black Phone 2 and The Smashing Machine over the weekend, which we are going to drop our review shows early next week. But it is Monday. We are here to talk Marvelous Monday. Anything yet? Marvelous Mondays? Still no, nothing. Okay, cool. Captain America Civil War hit our screens on the 26th of April 2016 here in the UK. Sash, a lot of people forget that this was a Captain America movie.
Um, I never forgot. Look, you're the first person that said that to me, and I was like, really? Do people not
Yeah,
know?
a lot of people
Um,
just say, "Oh, Civil War," and I'm like, "You do know it's a Captain America movie?" They're like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, I forgot it was called Captain America
oh,
Civil War."
okay.
You know what I mean? It was the part of the Captain America saga, shall we say? Yeah. So 26th of April 2016, a film
Yeah.
running 2 hours and 27 minutes. This pitted the Avengers off against each other. I think we mentioned some months back when we very first started this. It's good when Marvel do things like this, and it was kind of the government decided to ratify the Slovakia Accords, was it? They basically,
Slovakian Accords,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it. It was like a legal document that basically said the Avengers could no longer just fucking run gunshot and do what the fuck they wanted. Basically, Iron Man wanted to sign it. Tony Stark wanted to sign it. Captain America was having none of it, and basically they went to war. Did you ever read the Civil War comics?
Yeah, yeah. I remember
Oh,
the
dude.
comics.
So
So,
yeah, this was
so it's very different.
basically.
It's very different because in the
Yeah, but they
comics it
started
stopped.
planning this in late 2013, this movie. And
Well,
they wanted to borrow concepts from because I remember when the lead up to the Civil War comics come out, the
yeah,
comic universe and everyone that loves their comics, this was like the biggest comic event in
yeah.
donkey's years. And you had to buy this issue and then you had to buy that issue of this and that issue. It was one of the biggest crossovers of comic. If you'd actually bought them all individually,
I
it's
think I think
actually
I think it
ridiculous.
was one of the big not it wasn't the first time Marvel did a big crossover like that
No,
because
but this was the first one in a long time.
yeah, in a very long time, yeah.
Mm,
I mean, like back in the 90s we had Onslaught in it.
yeah.
Yeah, we had Onslaught with X-Men and when Xavier goes nuts and shit. And then you had what do you call it? The Heroes Reborn thing that happened afterwards.
Hmm.
So like, but no, there hadn't been a massive crossover since Onslaught, I think. So
Mm.
in the comics world, and obviously this started off with that super team that went off and the school was it a school that goes down? Yeah, that
It
was
was,
it.
yeah.
And then it starts the whole thing. And obviously, one of the biggest changes that a cat dies in the
Hmm.
comic book version.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's they clearly changed it a lot because you got to work with the characters that you have already established for the movie universe, if you know what I mean. Because if you
Hmm.
start adding like randos, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
it will take a regular audience outfit. I do remember a friend of mine like watching this film and really hating on it because he's like, oh,
Really?
yeah, he was like, they
Why
fucked
did he
it
hate
up
it?
because he loved the comic book version, isn't it? And it's like,
Yeah, but
well,
imagine if like we've
it's an
said thousands of
adaptation.
times. Imagine if you were trying to
Yeah,
get everything that's in a comic book into a movie. Superman
yeah,
tried it. We're not getting into that, don't worry. But
yeah,
Superman tried it this year,
yeah,
2025. And some say they've done it, some say they didn't. We're not getting into that on this episode. But
yeah,
it's so hard to do it with the Civil War comics. My
yeah.
God, this movie could have been 5 hours long if you'd done that.
It was a great film. In my opinion, it was a great film. I mean, look, with because it's a Captain America film, okay, it's very easy for everyone to go, I thought it was Avengers film. But if you look at the film, every frame of the film, Steve Rogers is more or less in it because it follows Steve's journey with all these events happening around him. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Sure, it deviates with Black Panther a little bit and Bucky, of course, but they're two characters that are very integral to the plot of this story. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's it, yeah, it's a really good Cap film. I remember the announcement. Did you ever watch the actual Marvel announcement at D23 for this?
Hmm.
Because originally, like, no one knew it was Civil War. So what happened was, for those that don't know, they were going to announce a new Captain America film. Behind the scenes stuff was happening because Marvel, well, the head of Marvel, Ike Perlmutter, he kind of had a say in the movies and stuff at this point, but he'd recently got removed and something to do with Age of Ultron. But he um he didn't want Robert Downey Jr. in the movie. He was like, change Civil War, make it Captain Marvel or someone else. Just don't put Iron Man in there because he didn't want to pay him. He didn't want to pay him
Mm.
a lot of money, and
Would this been a good movie to bring Captain Marvel in?
no, because people, I think comic book fans would have hated it even more because,
Mm.
you're changing one of the core elements of that. That's why in the comics, they've done a Civil War 2 where it's
Hmm.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? That only came because of the movie version, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, but, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments because I'm not up to date with lore. I'm just going by what I've heard and stuff. I haven't read a comic since like the early
I haven't
2000s.
read
So
one since yesterday.
yeah. So like so yeah, no. So there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff and then I think Robert Downey Jr. he kind of had enough of Iron Man kind of thing. He wanted to go do new things and stuff. So he put all
Mm.
his money in this little film called The Judge and that bombed. That tanked. Nobody saw this courtroom drama, and nobody saw it. So based on that, he was like, "Fine, I'm going to re-up to recoup the money I lost in sinking it
Yeah, give
into
me
this
Iron Man
movie."
back.
And then they obviously signed him for all the Avengers movies, all the little
Hmm.
cameos after that, Spider-Man and everything. They got him.
Spider-Man
They basically got
Homecoming
him.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It was a shock. It was actually a shock announcement because at D23 they opened it saying that it was called Captain America Serpent Society,
Hmm.
dealing with the Serpent Society, and then and then they were like, no, actually, we thought we could do one better, and they bring on um RDJ, and then they introduce Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
his first debut
First
as
debut
being
as
cast as Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. Mm.
It's quite a reveal. And I remember thinking, oh shit, they're doing Civil War. This is going to be mad.
Mm.
And yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. The biggest reveal for me, I'm a super Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
super fan. Okay. And yeah, Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And he's done good, in my opinion. He's done good.
Mm.
Um,
At the time as well, leading up to that movie, didn't they keep that really quiet to start with about Spider-Man? I
uh,
vaguely remember seeing something, and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Fuck, is Spider-Man in this movie?" Then, bam, everyone was like,
Yeah,
"Holy
you
shit!"
know what? I
I
can't
don't think Tom Holland
remember
was
how.
announced in the original,
Yeah,
because obviously in the comics, etc. We all know you can't get everything in the comics, and
yeah.
Spider-Man wasn't in the Civil War comics. I think Tom Holland was kept really quiet for quite some time leading up to this. If I vaguely remember
You
just
know
seeing
what?
like
I honestly
trailers
can't
and
remember.
stuff.
I'm pretty sure there's some creative controls or Zedo's gangs where
Mm.
I've talked about it when it was announced. But right now in 2025, I just cannot remember where I
Oh,
was.
dude, yeah, that's the only
Yeah,
thing we're doing Marvelous Mondays. You watch the movie, but then you're like,
yeah,
"Oh, what was the build up like? What was the trailers?
yeah.
What was
So
anything? What was going on 10 years ago?"
yeah, just it's just a blur sometimes, man. I can't honestly remember, but
Oh, we're getting old.
I just remember just thinking, oh, okay, cool. We'll see how he does, and then
Did you like the
yeah,
premise of the movie? Obviously, it was basically Captain America, Steve Rogers, trying to prove that Bucky was innocent and there was more super soldiers out there. The only thing that I was, again, doing the research for the show, I went and spoke to a few people and read a lot of comments and stuff. The only thing that people tended to not like about this movie, again, was that it was Steve Rogers kind of associated with Hydra again, but I'm kind of like, well, if you get Steve
Well,
Rogers,
that's the point.
that's the point. Yeah,
That's
that's
kind of
what
the
I was.
point,
I
right?
was arguing backwards and forwards with
Yeah,
someone inside. I can't remember what I was on today, something on X or somewhere like that, because we were
yeah,
talking about this show, and they were like, oh well, it's just Hydra again with Steve Rogers. I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of always going to follow him around and followed him around until his last moments when he went back in time and lived happily ever after. But
yeah.
yeah, did you like the premise of of the movie? Did you? Uh, Watching it again, I rewatched it again this morning actually because I watched it again a
Mm,
couple of weeks ago. Then we got delayed doing this episode, so I rewatched it again this morning, and I absolutely loved seeing the Avengers go up against the Avengers. It was cool how they didn't include Thor and Hulk. It wasn't like you said.
yeah,
This wasn't a full-on Avengers movie. It kind of was without being a full-on Avengers movie. Thor was off on another. They worded it. He's on other worldly duties, and
yeah,
Hulk was on self-imposed exile.
yeah,
Was how they put it in the movie. But I liked the movie. The premise of the movie was good, and at the time, you think when this movie come out, this was like we'd just come off Age of Ultron, and I think Ant-Man had been out by then, hadn't it? Ant-Man had already been introduced because Ant-Man's in
yeah,
this movie. Yeah, obviously we'd already seen the Ant-Man movie. So this was Marvel kind of going, right, here we go. We've got the Avengers. We're now giving you Black Panther. We're now
yeah,
giving you Spider-Man, and we're now giving you Ant-Man. Do you think that was a good addition, knowing what
yeah.
we know coming
100%.
further down the line? Because I think after this movie, we got Doctor Strange.
Mm,
So, what did you think it was good how they introduced all these characters? I know you're a big Spider-Man guy, so obviously that's going to be a
yeah.
yes. What did you make of Ant-Man, Black Panther being
Oh
in?
yeah, no, they were great, man. I mean, Chadwick was amazing as Black
Rest
Panther.
in
I mean,
peace.
like, God rest his soul. I mean, like,
Mm,
seriously, like, perfect casting. Did that role super justice, man. Yeah, really enjoyed him. Really enjoyed Tom Holland. I like the banter with what's
Tony
it,
Stark.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man
Oh
was
no,
funny.
more importantly, the thing is with Spider-Man, he was Spider-Man with the quips and stuff when he's
Hmm.
fighting and he's like,
Yeah.
hey, da, da, da.
Hey,
That
nice to meet you. Big
yeah,
fan.
that was you couldn't get the more perfect Spider-Man than that. I know a lot of people say that like, the other ones he didn't. He wasn't really much like that, but no, they really did a good job there, man. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, the film grossed $1.1 billion. It was the highest grossing movie of 2016 with it had a budget of 250 million. I
yeah,
mean, it's Marvel by then. In 2016, Marvel could fucking do anything and it wouldn't really matter. They were just printing cash for fun. Grossing 68.7 million in the US and Canada alone. I mean, Jesus, as soon as you mentioned Civil War and what they were going to do with it, this movie was always going to be a hit, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like obviously with the trailer, them announcing the new Spider-Man, that was for a lot of people. That was like, okay, we get to see Spider-Man in this shit. You know what I mean?
This
And
is why
like,
we're watching this movie.
who's the new Spider-Man? Is he going to be okay? Blah blah blah. And he won the hearts, man. I remember working. I actually worked the movie premiere of this
Oh wow,
in
did you?
in at Westfields in London. Yeah, this was back when I was working at View. Yeah, they were all there,
Tom Holland
all
and
of them.
everyone.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Event, RDJ. After a while, after you do one of these things, you kind of get numb to it because they,
No, it's just
yeah,
RDJ over there. Tom
yeah. It's just
Holland.
though. I tell you what, though. I tell you what. I'll be honest with you. This one I did get starstruck at. Okay, so Civil War's there. We'd already at this point had a premiere of original Avengers and
Mm-hmm.
all of these other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just another day. Like fucking RDJ's there, fucking this guy's there, Jordan's there with her kids.
She probably only had one by then.
Yeah.
Not about 10 now.
Um, and yeah, but what they do at these Disney screenings, they invite like a lot of the people that are working in the
Mm-hmm.
UK, so other productions and stuff. And what was it? This woman comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, um, do you know where the popcorn stand is? I'm just looking for my dad." And she was quite attractive. I was like, okay, stand there and on your left, she goes. And then, you know, loads who walked past me. I think Samuel Jackson must have walked past me. I was like, oh, okay, this is just Samuel.
Serious
Just
name
casually
dropping
just
going
going
on in this
past.
episode, yeah.
And then in walks in walks the girl with her father, and it was Mark Hamill.
I bet you
I did.
absolutely
I was like,
lost
oh
your
shit.
shit.
I was like, oh shit, because they were filming episode 7, I think.
Did
Must
you
have been
did, what
7
did
or
you
8. Well,
did you get to speak to Mark Hamill?
no, I didn't. Didn't. I just hold the door. That's what you do. You hold the door. You don't speak to the celebrities. They just walk past you,
Yeah, but dude, this is
etc.
you and Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna. I'm there to do a job, innit? So, you know,
Doing a job if Luke Skywalker walked past you, you
you
talk to
just
him.
walk past me. That's all. You know.
I would have been
Yeah.
like, this is not the cinema you're looking
You're
for.
not
No, I
allowed.
wouldn't
You're
have.
not allowed. You're not allowed to talk to. You're
Nah,
not
fuck
allowed to
that.
talk to them.
That would have been
If
worth
they
losing
talk
my
to
job.
you, if they talk to you, sure, but you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to disrupt the flow and talk to them. And before every movie premiere, they'll always tell the cinema staff, like, act
Yeah.
professional. Do
Don't say
not.
shit.
Do not ask for selfies. Do not do that. You're not even allowed to have your phone on you at these things. Well, back then, when we went to a press preview, they let us take our phones. I was like, what? This is new. Uh, but before, phones were bad. You had to go to security, get past your phone in, and they used to put it
Mark Hamill's
all
coming
wrapped
past
up.
me, bro. I'm like
Yeah,
that. I'm like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get in here, get in here.
So,
Yeah,
so
no.
yeah.
Fair play, dude. Fair play. Amazing, amazing. Where were Marvel in 2016, would you say, Sash? Well, obviously we got to Civil War, great, great movie,
I
which
think,
then led into Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
hmm,
We always talk to Neil, who's always on with us. He
yeah.
always says was this the stage when we were going from what Neil calls original Marvel, I'm doing my air quotes here, to kind of how do you word it? Modern day Marvel, new
No,
Marvel. I
no, not at
mean, were we
all.
still in that era of holy
We're
fuck
still
yeah,
the
yeah?
look, dude. For me personally, Marvel did not dip until Black Widow. Okay, because
You fucking hate that movie, don't you?
Infinity War 1 and 2 were was that the first 23, 24 movie 23,
Yeah,
24
because this was
movies.
movie, Civil War was movie 13.
Yeah, so this is them in their prime.
Mm.
This is them in their prime, bro.
Peak
Because
Marvel.
phase three was peak. Phase three was like peak Marvel. Like at this point, they could do no wrong. For me,
Mm.
anyway, I was like, oh my God, like I'm in, I'm plugged in. You know what I
Mm.
mean? There's no dip. There's no dip. I remember not liking Age of Ultron so much at the time, but on rewatches, it's grown on me a
Yeah,
lot.
I thought
You
that.
know,
We said that, didn't we, when we
yeah, yeah,
reviewed it?
it's
And it was
grown
like
on me
when
a
you
lot on
rewatch it, you're
rewatch.
like, oh, actually, the movie's
Yeah,
not as bad as you make out. I'm finding
yeah.
that with a lot of these
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Marvelous Monday
Because you
films.
see how they connect into the bigger
Mm. Back
kind of
then, you didn't
picture and
know.
stuff. Yeah,
Back
yeah. Back then we didn't know what they were up to and
no.
stuff. But then for me, at this point, this actually made up for Age of Ultron, because I thought Age of Ultron would be a Empire Strikes Back kind of ending,
Hmm.
where the bad ending. This was they were like, no, 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 no. The bad ending is this, because the team is split, right?
Yeah.
And they did that deliberately, and it
But
worked. It paid off.
they bookmarked this film with the end credits with Bucky and Steve Rogers hiding out on Wakanda,
Mm,
kind of giving you a preview of what's to come. But then the next movie is Doctor Strange. So this movie
yeah,
literally just went full stop for a
yeah,
little bit, and then you hit Doctor Strange. So you're getting no look at what's coming in Doctor Strange. You're getting no build up. You're getting no
yeah,
nothing at the end of Civil War. And all of a sudden, the next Marvel movie off the rank
yeah,
was Doctor Strange. Did that surprise you? Or was it kind of right? Look, we're going to give you Doctor Strange, introduce him. We know
yeah,
Steve Rogers and Bucky are on Wakanda. Then we're going to give you Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Then we're going to give you Black Panther, I think. I need to check that while we're
yeah,
chatting amongst
yeah,
ourselves. But yeah, did it surprise you that with the end credit scene, it was, and then obviously you got Peter Parker in his room with his little gadget from
yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Stark that he shined on the wall, and that set up Spider-Man
yeah.
Homecoming. So
Homecoming. Yeah,
they bookmarked a lot at the end of this episode. If you think about it, they bookmarked Black Panther.
yeah,
They you kind of not sure what was happening with the Avengers, like you said, they were kind of split,
yeah.
and we got obviously Wakanda and Black
So
Panther.
was Doctor Strange the next one?
So after this one, I'm just literally on there now. Why we can just I don't know, sing
Okay.
a song or something.
I
I'm
got the
pretty
box set on
sure.
the other side of the room. I could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after this, if you're doing it in order that we are have been doing it, I'm sure Doctor Strange is next. So
Oh,
this was
okay.
like a bookmark movie where they just went, let's not pause everything, but
Yeah.
right, here we go, Marvel.
I mean, you only get one reference in Winter Soldier of Doctor Strange, but it's
Mm.
more
Yeah,
someone's
so Civil War,
name.
and then you had
Yeah.
that Team Thor little mini thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the Infinity Saga goes Ant-Man, which we've done, Civil War, um, and then Doctor. So yeah, after this is Doctor Strange,
Hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok. Oh no, then Black Panther.
Right.
So that's the order that we're gonna get it in. So yeah, what did you think? Bookmark this movie, kind of like paused Black Panther. They teased everything. Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, he said, oh, obviously Spider-Man will return. Spider-Man wasn't until you got Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War,
Hmm.
Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, etc. Then Doomsday, and then you got all the other. You got Spider-Man Homecoming kind
Yeah.
of
But
squeezed
then
in
this was
afterwards.
the era where they were bringing out a film every, I think this was this 3 times a year, and then they went to 4 times a year.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that was when they were like, yeah, we're banging shit out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yep.
let's go. Because I remember working and it was 4 times a year. It was like fucking chock-a-block busy, man.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. No, I'm just sorry, mate. I'm just looking on Disney Plus now. I'm getting
yeah.
sidetracked. But yeah, look, I thought it was a good way to set up what's coming further down the line.
Hmm.
Was this movie everything you expected it to be? Did you want to, like you said at the start of the show, your mate hated it? Did
Yeah,
Marvel
for
fans
me,
want to see the comic? Was this Marvel's chance to give us the comic book version? But fuck knows how they would
no,
have done it because it would have been you potentially could have split Civil War into two parts.
yeah, look, they they could have they could have done they could have made it bigger. They could have because
Civil
you
War
had
can have its
agents.
own kind of part of
Could
the
you?
Marvel. If you ever wanted
Yeah,
to not reset the Marvel universe,
yeah,
you could
because
do
you
the
had
Civil War
because you had Agents of Shield going in tangent to these
simultaneously. Yeah,
things.
yeah.
They could have done something in that to lead up to this, because obviously with those other superheroes and stuff, and they could have had the school incident in that, and then,
Hmm.
but that's one way of adaptation. But to be honest, yeah, it didn't look. I understand. Look, I understand filmmaking, so it's like. I understand you got to adapt these things for a wider audience that don't necessarily read comics or understand these things. You know, we're lucky to get what we have because, do you know what I mean? Like at this point, it's the golden age of superhero movies.
But
Okay,
do you ever
where
get to the point where the comic book fans are like, "Hey, what about us?" Hence why Superman done what they done this year.
well, no, because at this point the comic book fans have got what they got. Like Avengers was like fucking
Yeah,
ultimate,
true.
like the ultimate series,
Hmm.
with the alien invasion and stuff. Fair enough, they cut out Wasp and a couple of other stuff,
They tried it
but
with Justice
but
League, etc.,
yeah, I
etc.
mean, look, right there. That year, that what's it, 2016, we're living the
2016. Yeah.
heyday of comic book movies. You understand? Me and you grew up in an era where we never had this shit. We had Michael Keaton's Batman, and that's it. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they'd give us the Shadow.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't. Do you
You know what
think?
I mean?
Do you think
Like,
Marvel? DC, obviously the DC and Marvel thing. Do you think DC tap into the comic book side of it more than Marvel do? Purely
what, DC?
for storyline only. I'm talking.
I think they both do it. I think they both do it in their own ways. You know,
Mm.
DC do it. DC's done it full tilt boogie into it this year, kind of thing. But then even Zack Snyder did it to a degree. May not have been exact like the
Don't
comics, but
mention that
do you know what
name
I
on
mean?
here.
Like he borrowed elements and stuff.
Yeah, he
But
borrowed elements and
again,
he
it's
fucking.
an adaptation, man. It's an adaptation, isn't it? Like, um, I
Is there anything you obviously you are Marvel fucking
yeah.
everything's stored in your brain. Is there anything even so far we'll go up to the present day, or we can go back to what like we're saying we're reviewing Civil War. Is there anything in Marvel comics that you think, why the hell haven't you brought this into the movies yet? Because DC say it all the time. And the only thing with Marvel was the whole Doomsday thing, but then you've
Yeah,
got the
the
Fantastic
only
Four.
thing I'd say is I wish they'd crossed over X-Men into the MCU a
Earlier
lot sooner, a lot sooner. I think
because they
I
were like the original.
like I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit okay. The X-Men films have been hitting. I'm a huge X-Men fan. Okay, I know you're not. I know you hate them, but I love X-Men, and I love the movies. Fine, I accept their adaptations, kind of thing, and obviously they changed a lot of stuff, like the costumes and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. Okay, just so long as the core elements are there. But I'll be honest with you, X-Men 1 and 2, I loved, and 3 not so much. but that's grown on me a little bit only because they rectified it with Days of Future Past, which I thought was amazing. And I love First Class. And even though they're not exactly like their counterparts, they made them work as entertaining movies. But I just wished that they'd been part of this Marvel thing because
Is
I
that why
think,
we're now getting like Marvel What If and all that kind of thing?
yeah, but I mean, I just
By the way, I know
like
someone that
now
works on that.
everyone's talking about rebooting everything. I hate reboots.
Seems to be the it's the world
I'm
we
like,
live in
just
now.
yeah, it's like just give us good movies. Yeah, you're
Don't
going to make a bad movie every now and again. And yeah, Marvel's made a lot of bad movies recently, in my eyes.
Marvel don't seem to reboot much though, because it's
But
not it's their
they don't.
universe.
But if you look online,
You're
everyone's
talking
talking
movies, I
about
get it.
no. But if you look online, everyone's talking about rebooting everything. Oh, X-Men should be rebooted. I'm like, no, we had. You know what? Yeah, um, with X-Men, you're not going to get a better Professor Xavier than fucking Patrick Stewart.
No,
That's facts.
even I
All
can say
right.
that, and I'm
That
not a big
guy
X
was
fan. Yeah,
born
to
for
play that
that
role. Yeah.
fucking role.
Mm.
Okay. Now it's getting into X-Men podcast, but
No, no,
but
it's fine. Hey, look, it's all good.
I'm just like I'm just like I'm afraid of how they're gonna do X-Men, to be honest. I don't want a reboot. I would rather they, you know what? This is what I would do with X-Men. I'd set it in the 80s. I'd keep it in the MCU. I'd set it in
Mm.
the 80s. I would pretend that X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix never existed. So it comes off of Days of Future Past. I'd get
That'd be cool.
McAvoy, I'd get Fassbender because Fassbender was fantastic as Magneto. Get
Hmm.
them back, get them back, set in the 80s. That way, the X-Men can wear their original costumes and look
Mm.
crazy and you know what I mean? And make it very 80s aesthetic. You could cross it off with Agent Carter and you could have de-aged Samuel Jackson walk in like, hey, I'm work for Shield. Shit, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? You could have Michael
Yeah.
Douglas as the Ant-Man. So because yeah, it's a Marvel MCU and the Marvel universe. You can expand it that way, and then you could recast Cyclops, Jean, everyone. Just don't put Wolverine in there. Just don't put Wolverine in there. Just have it as
But
X-Men.
everyone that isn't a
Yeah,
nerdy as me and you and everyone
yeah,
else
yeah,
that's watching this,
yeah, yeah.
associate X-Men with
Wolverine. But you know what? Maybe have him cameo, but not have him be the main focus. But the thing is, yeah, this is the
that's like
thing.
having Justice League without Superman.
So and then in the regular MCU, the modern day MCU, you could cameo Hugh Jackman, you can cameo Patrick Stewart, you could put them in Avengers and stuff, having a cameo role, knowing that the X-Men has its standalone bit in the 80s going nuts and being as ridiculous and crazy
Mm.
as it is. But and then you could have Avengers versus X-Men.
I
You
was
could
literally about to say that to
yeah,
you. If you think what they've done with Civil War,
you could even kill off Xavier, kill off Patrick Stewart, have fucking Cyclops turn bad and you know what I mean, or lead the team, or do you know what I mean? You could do all of that stuff straight away if you just connect them. It just means that, you know, the X-Men films are kind of like in their own timey-wimey shit.
mm.
But the MCU's in the whole timey-wimey shit anyway.
Well, talking of
So
timey-wimey
yeah,
shit, as you so elegantly put it, is that something? Could Civil War potentially be a benchmark for things further down the line? Like you mentioned there, and I was literally about to say the same as well, X-Men versus the Avengers.
yeah.
You could have there's so many more subplots that you can do because at the minute we're all leading on to this path to Doomsday next year. The quote unquote Avengers are back, albeit without Tony
So me
Stark.
with Marvel at the moment, I said a few podcasts ago, I think they're on the up and up. They're in that whole trying to rectify the ship kind of thing. I thought Daredevil was okay. I
Yeah.
thought Captain America was yeah, it was bad, but it could have been worse.
Yeah,
It could
could
have
have
been
been.
much worse.
Yeah, I mean,
But
the thing is that killed that
yeah.
movie, like we said in our review, was all the reshoots and the green screen
Uh,
and fucking.
and it's coming, and more importantly, it's but coming back to this. If you're just watching the Captain America movies, it's coming off of this one, which is a great one. You know what I mean?
That is a bloody good point. I mean, I know
Yeah,
they were fucking God knows how many years apart,
yeah,
but the last
exactly.
Captain America movie was Civil War.
Yeah, and it yeah, the
Probably
benchmark is this
one,
high.
yeah. And
You
then
know
you
what I mean?
release
It's
that
this
shit that we
high.
got this
You
year, and yeah,
this was not there, and
That was probably the first time this year when they've done the Captain America movie that they really struggled because there were so many reshoots. There were a lot of casting
Yeah,
issues. The director changed. That was probably the first time when Marvel thought, "Oh fuck, we're not fully in control here." And for whatever reason, we're starting to lose this director, or we're having to reshoot here. Like when me and you sat down and reviewed it, and even when I was in the cinema, I genuinely thought we were going to see a green screen at some point. It's a bit like when we said about Jurassic Park when we reviewed that. I'm like. Fucking all from being showing us the green screen. This is for a movie, not too bad. From a movie, and you'll be better than this than me. From a movie maker's point of view, it
yeah.
was really bad because of reshoots.
Well, what are
Because
we
of
talking about? Are we talking about Cap?
yeah, the last one that me and
Okay,
you
yeah,
said
we're
that
talking
with
about Cap.
Harrison
Yeah,
Ford. Yeah, with Harrison Ford.
it was bad, man. It was very choppy, the fighting and stuff. One minute that girl's got a costume on, next minute she doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What was that? Did I? Huh?
But is
It
that from where you
was,
go from like with Civil War, when you
yeah.
saying this was 2016, this was peak Marvel, you
Mm.
fast forward to 2025 and you're kind of like, what's happened between 2016 and
Well,
2025?
Phase 4 happened, man.
Yeah,
It's kind of been.
do you think they regret doing Phase 4 the way they've done it?
No, I think a number of things fucked them up. I think. Okay, so not multiple things fucked them up. Disney had a mandate on bringing out more content on Disney Plus,
Hmm.
and they were like, "We need shows from you guys." So the output, was massive.
Hmm. We
The
were
other thing
inundated
is,
with shows for like a year,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The other thing is, Kevin Feige is just one guy.
Mm.
So, you know, if you look at the films prior, he was managing four films at peak Marvel, it was 3 to 4
Hmm.
films a year.
Yep.
Okay, you had 3 to 4 films a year plus another, six shows.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? On top of that. And as well as on top of that, you've also got the Spider-Man thing. Because even though Spider-Man is MCU, he has to concentrate on that more
Hmm.
because he's constantly having at it with Sony. Because
Yep.
Sony want to, you know what I mean, do whatever bullshit Sony want to do, right? So you got to protect Spider-Man at all costs. So he's his work is spread thin. You know what I mean?
Mm.
When you're concentrating on one, two, three, maybe four things, and that's your output, and you've got consistently greatness, what happens? You then hire experienced directors to take over. Okay, so in the case of Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like James Gunn, you've done well with the first two. You already have a script. So, and Guardians 3 was one of the better Phase 4 movies. Okay,
Liked it,
I
enjoyed
would
it. Yep.
say.
Yep.
And
Enjoyed it.
I trust you to do what you need to do with Guardians 3. Smacked it out of the park. Um, Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Taika Waititi with Love and Thunder. Now, before we go on a hate bash, because I know you don't like Ragnarok, but hear me out. For those that do like Ragnarok, like me, I loved Ragnarok, but
Oh,
the difference between Ragnarok and Love and Thunder was
not much.
Ragnarok had a script before Tiger Waititi came on, and in that script you had the plot, the characters, you had a proper foundation of what the story was and where it was going. All Taika Waititi did was come in and sprinkle his jokes in there. And that's fine because you've got a cohesive story and he's not like changing stuff from a story aspect. Love and Thunder, he's the only writer director on that. So everything that he did in that movie is a choice by him.
Hmm.
So it's like, well, you gave the keys to the clown in the castle and he went berserk. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm in charge. And just went nuts. And here's the thing. Okay.
Sound like
I need to
Gollum.
rewatch that because I watched it with my cousin and my cousin
Other
loved it.
what
She
Ragnarok?
loved it. And she's not a comic book
Mhm.
person.
We've
She
got
loved it.
Ragnarok in a few weeks, bro. It's coming over the horizons. I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Um,
I might just let you
she
and Neil
loved
do
it.
that.
I was probably, I didn't. There were bits about it where I was like, I'm not sure. Like, I wanted more Christian Bale. I wish they'd never called her Lady Thor because that's just dumb. She's Jane Foster with the power of Thor. Don't call her Lady Thor. Why are you? It sounds
I
dumb.
think Marvel was slowly getting into their woke era, as I
Yeah.
call it.
So it's it's the quality drop there. But back to what I was saying in Kevin Feige, he's just one guy. And then with the TV shows, you've got showrunners to run the TV shows rather than him. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And there's been reports about him arguing with the woman that was in charge of She-Hulk. And she was gloating on the red carpet about how she got away and all of this shit. And it was just like,
I would
well,
not gloat. There's nothing about She-Hulk to gloat
yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah.
apart from the fact it
So,
was fucking
so
terrible.
it's it's a case of when he had his eye on everything, he was hiring the best people for the job. When you've got more than shit going on, then you go to the people that weren't necessarily your first choice of director, your first choice of script writer, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And then the other thing is you trust certain people to make sure they do their job. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
like if you're managing something, you trust your supervisors to make sure
Yep.
that your shit's carried out,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, because you were the guy that was quality control, it's now, you know what I mean? There's bugs in the system, man. And
Mm.
that's kind of what happened with Marvel. But I think, I thought Thunderbolts could have been a disaster, but it was all right. I thought it was okay.
It's
Um,
okay.
it could have been worse. I was expecting it to
I'm
be
gonna
worse.
rewatch it again, I think,
Yeah.
because I've only watched it
Um,
once. But
and I liked Fantastic Four a lot. I really liked Fantastic Four a lot. Um, so
having rewatched Fantastic Four, and Neil
hmm.
will be pleased to hear this. It's not as bad as I first thought it was.
Oh,
It's
did you not
not.
like it?
No, I pooed all over it in the review. I didn't.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I did
you
not know that. Oh,
you
well,
were there.
I probably was, but
Yeah,
it's been so long, I can't
yeah, I
remember.
know it's been a few weeks, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I just thought it was over a bit too quick. I thought
Hmm.
they literally like got to the end and it was like, oh, okay, we're done. Yeah, but yeah, having rewatched it, not as bad as I first thought. But dude, it's been good to be back talking to Marvel. It's been good talking some Marvelous Monday. We're going to be back again later this week. So I have seen Black Phone 2, Sash. Have you seen it yet?
No, no, no.
Dude, oh dude, basically watch Nightmare on Elm Street again. Black Phone 2.
Sorry, what's that?
Just watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and that is Black Phone 2.
Okay.
They pretty much ripped off the entire story. And I went to watch it with Jonathan, who's going to be later, but coming back later next week, and we're going to sit down and do a full Black Phone 2 review.
Right.
He said to me, and I heard someone else in the cinema as we were walking out, went, "I just watched the modern day version of Nightmare on Elm Street."
Oh
They
shit.
they ripped off the entire fucking story, basically. And I jumped on X when I got home because I knew that I was going to be reviewing it. I knew me and John are going to sit down, and not a lot. It's only been out a few days, so not loads of people have seen it. But every like review I read, and the YouTube shows that I watched, everyone was like, "I just saw a modern day Nightmare on Elm Street." So yeah, it'd be interesting to get you when you do see it. It'd be interesting to get your views. Also, when I saw the Smashing Machine, the Mark Kerr story starring The Rock, which surprisingly has flopped in the box office, and me and John are going to sit down later next week and review that. I really enjoyed it. It's if you're into a UFC, if you're into Ultimate Fighting, for me, this is one of the best movies The Rock's ever done.
Oh wow.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was good. I really, really did like it. So we're going to be sitting down and reviewing the Smashing Machine. Next up for us on Marvelous Monday, Sash, Doctor Strange. Would you any brief thoughts on that? Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be an interesting one to talk about. Yeah.
Right. Gonna be good. And then, like I say, we've got then we've got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 coming up. We're not far away now from Black Panther. We're getting to that end of it where we're not getting to the end, but we've got to go through some rocky patches. We're gonna do Thor Ragnarok's gonna be the one. I don't know how I'm gonna review that because everyone that watches this I might as well not be on the show, to be honest, because it's just a waste of time. But I'm gonna rewatch it. Well hold my thoughts. You never know. I might rewatch it and think, oh, it's not that bad. I won't because it's shit. But anyway, anyone wants to find us, go on to X and you can find us at Completed It Pod. Go on to YouTube, just type in Completed It Podcast. We're kind of back now. We've had a little, not a hiatus. We've all had so much going on. Neil is still got stuff going on, hence why he's not here today. We wish him well with everything that he's doing. Hopefully, we're going to see him next week. Me and John are going to be back this week coming, doing Black Phone 2 and the Smashing Machine. Sash, we've also got coming up in November, we've got it booked in. If you're a fan of the Power Rangers, you know, fan of that, when did you, were you growing up as a kid?
Yeah.
We've got some actual people that were, I won't say who and when, but we'll get it all confirmed and done. Power Rangers, and then you and I are going to sit down with Neil because you lot give me shit about not watching enough horror. We're going to do the whole Nightmare. It's coming up for Halloween in 2 weeks. We're going to do the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, all of them. From start to finish, you guys keep getting on my back all the time that I don't watch them. So I'm going to sit down, watch every single one, and then you guys can tell me, you know, at last, Andy. I mean, I've seen them. I've seen the. Wasn't a massive. Neil hates me for this. I'm not a massive Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
Neil's our horror
Neil,
guy.
Neil is literally. If he
Thing
was,
is though, I've never seen them. Um, I grew up on Jerry Bruckheimer action
yeah,
movies, and
yeah.
like
Me and you were the
anything with
same boat.
Arnold and Sly.
Yeah, and there you go.
Was
That
yeah,
was our era.
that was that yeah,
So, but for
yeah.
Halloween season coming up in 2 weeks, me and myself and Sash are going to do the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Maybe do some Halloween movies as well. That's again, you mentioned reboots earlier. That's a reboot that split opinion.
Hmm.
Halloween movies. So we'll get into that. But everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's good to be back talking to Marvel on Marvelous Monday. Like I say, check us out on X at Completed It Pod. Check us out on YouTube, Completed It Podcast. But till next time, everybody, I've been your host, Andy Burrows. That's been the amazing Sacha Alari. Stay safe.
Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of daily life? Struggling with anxiety, stress, depression, phobias, fears, or just trying to get yourself back again? Discover the transformative power of focused solution hypnotherapy and counseling. Through guided hypnotherapy, relaxation trance allows your subconscious mind to access your inner resources and strengths you didn't know you had. Book your free consultation today and let's start your journey together. For more information, please email Sharon at scm-therapy.me